Welcome to Discussing Dad Life, where we break down bullshit so you don't have to. I'm Void. This is No, and let's go. Oh, here we go.
Are we recording?
That.
We're recording, so I burped into the microphone.
Yep. That's a disgustingly
my dick.
very appropriate way to start this, considering the topic that you want to talk about.
Well, I figure let's chat about this since we're both divorced and we both have exes.
Oh, dude, I'm a fucking monster. What are
So
you talking
welcome to
about?
Wellspring Wednesdays, where we break down stuff dealing with your relationships and your kids. One thing,
And we have fun.
and that we've talked about kind of in the past, is how to introduce your kid to a potential mate or a new spouse potentially. But what happens when you have an ex
It was a trifling hoe.
that you were trying to move forward with, and then that stops, and then that ex goes and starts spewing information about your relationship to your family, trying to discredit you or destroy your
Make
reputation.
you look bad.
Right?
Well, I think a lot of women do that, man. A lot of women make, like, I don't know if it's like a guilty conscience or just something like, well, they want trying to make themselves look better from the the situation or whatever. But it's not okay. Like, be an adult about the situation.
Yeah.
As much as like I've been on the other side of that, you know what I mean? I was young once too, and it wasn't, or I didn't have my emotions in check. But I never went and badmouthed somebody.
No.
I did tell the truth of a situation, and that made the other person look bad as it is.
Yeah, but so I guess my stance is in a relationship, what happens in that relationship should stay in the confines of that relationship.
No, I get what you're saying.
You should never use information in that relationship to try destroying someone's
No.
reputation. If
no.
you do that, what kind of person are you? You know
You're
what I mean?
a fucking bitch.
So it doesn't matter if it's true or false or whatever.
Yeah.
My stance is that should never be said.
No, like I said, you should be fucking adults about the situation.
Yeah.
Like,
'Cause-
okay, things didn't work out. Thanks for the good times or whatever the fuck.
It doesn't matter. You can be salty with someone,
Yeah.
but you still shouldn't do that. Like,
No,
if you're mad at someone, be mad at someone. Don't try destroying the
But that's
reputation.
my question is like, what did she benefit from doing that? Like, did she does it make herself feel better? Like,
I have
you know
no
what I
idea.
mean? Like,
I have no idea.
If you know, let us know.
Yeah. I have no idea why anyone would want to do that, right? Because in my mind, that's immature, childish shit.
That's
But that also kind of justifies, if you're the one leaving that relationship, that kind of justifies in and of itself why you left that relationship, because the person obviously couldn't be
definitely
trusted.
explains why. Yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
Excused.
I drank that water too fast.
He's lying.
Oh.
It wasn't water.
It was
Vodka.
fire water.
I don't.
Excuse me.
know.
God dang.
You all right, man?
Oh,
Need some fucking
yeah.
tongues?
No, I freaking ate it I ate water too fast, man. I pulled the Biden.
Oh,
Shut
God.
up.
Yeah. I'm quit Biden shit up.
Yeah. So, I guess your solution is get a can of bitch be gone.
Oh, yeah.
But
Big old can, a 32 ouncer, a bitch be gone.
so I also want to take a look at the opposite side of this, which is men. If you have an ex, you should not be bad mouthing her to her family, to her friends,
Oh, yeah.
to your friends, nothing, right?
Be a man about it.
It doesn't matter what happened in that relationship that's between you and that person. It should stay that way.
Yep.
You shouldn't. The world's full of enough drama. We don't need to continue.
Fuck, we got
making
enough to
more
deal
drama,
with.
right?
Yeah.
So,
Bitch be gone. Just fucking.
bitch be gone.
And if it's happening to you, man, just fucking ignore that shit, because it's funny how the truth always comes to light. You know what I mean? Like, fucking let it go.
At the same time, like if they're doing it to your family, I understand why you want to say something or why you want to do something,
Yeah, act to it.
right? Because
Or react.
because that is they're affecting your close personal family, right?
Well, they're fucking with your peace, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, that's not okay.
No, that is not okay. But at the same time, you can't give it any air, right? You got to let that shit just kind of slide.
Yeah.
Because your family's going to have your back no matter what, right?
You would hope, anyways.
Well, you would hope. But it doesn't matter if it's true, false, or whatever that they're saying. The simple fact is, if you are in the relationship, whatever you do inside that relationship is what you thought was best.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter what they have to say on it.
Fuck them.
Like you are your own person. You make your own decisions on how
right.
best to make that relationship work. So I think I'm going to end it on that note, but let's go into a different topic.
Run it.
what topic you want to go on. I actually have an interesting. For this. I am.
Oh, okay.
I should have said something before we started.
You should have told me.
I know, because I knew that topic wasn't going to be that long.
Okay.
But so we've always talked about how men are put in a position to pay child support, right?
Yeah.
That the courts favor women and that the courts are incentivized to make a non-custodial parent, which typically is the man, and typically it's the man because the men typically make more money on an annual basis than women.
Yeah. So the state makes more money.
So the state makes more money. The judge makes more retirement funds, right?
Yeah.
That we've talked about that.
Yeah, we've touched on that.
But we've never talked about mate selection on a woman, right?
Like, how do you select a mate?
Well, think about it like this. So the conversation should start with, if a woman has a right to determine whether or not they're going to have an abortion or carry the baby, the man should have the right to determine whether or not they're going to support that baby.
Yeah,
right.
No, I've always
if they have no choice in reproduction, right? Let's face it, men in the United States have zero reproductive rights.
Hopefully that changes soon, though.
Men, your what you want to have happen with your child means nothing. The woman has total control, so just keep that in mind.
Yeah, before you start sticking your dick into hose.
Right. Best advice that I can give everyone: don't stick your dick in crazy.
What did my dad say? But crazy's fun.
I told that to my 13-year-old man.
You, Pops.
I told that to my 13-year-old, don't stick your dick in crazy, and he just like,
he didn't get it.
No, he just fucking shook his head and walked away from me. I was like, dude, I'm trying to impart knowledge.
Right. That's some serious shit.
Right.
They're gonna get like, our kids are gonna get older and be like, those fucking stupid mother. God damn it.
Right. So, I mean, men have a responsibility mate selection. Men typically tend to be a little bit more logical. However, men also like to think with their small head rather than the big head.
We lust.
So, men, before you start going around having a bunch of sex with a bunch of women, you need to do some
research
of these women, right?
Yeah.
Because believe it or not, right, you're responsible for that child.
Yeah.
Even though you have zero rights to that child.
Which makes no good sense.
You have 100% responsibility to that child, right? Again, disparity, whatever, it is what it is. Just keep in mind that you are going to be responsible if you end up having a child with a woman. So you need to do your homework and make sure that you vet the woman that you are having sex with, because if you do have a child with them, you do want to make sure that you're able...
You're stuck with them for life.
You're stuck, right? Well, 18 years
Well, 18 years, yeah. I mean, might as well be your fucking life.
So bringing the conversation back, the woman has the right to determine whether or not they're going to have the child or not, regardless of the man's feelings, right? So if the man doesn't want the child, but the woman does, it doesn't matter what the man wants. The woman can have the child.
Yeah, you're burnt.
At that point, you have zero rights to say, I don't want that child. And you have zero rights to say, I don't want to take responsibility for that child. You're going to be forced to take responsibility for that child.
But why not the other way around?
But the argument that I have in my head is this. Is men are responsible for impregnating a woman. A woman is responsible for getting impregnated, right? There's mate selection done on both sides. I've already told you that a man has to have some foresight into mate selection when it comes to having sex, right?
Yeah, but that comes with age, the knowledge on what you want. You know what I mean? Like to be able to identify the characteristics of a vile woman, or what's the word I'm thinking of?
Vile.
Not
vile.
What's the word I'm fucking thinking of?
I have no idea what you're trying to say.
A not good fucking mate. You know what I'm saying? It takes
the red flags?
Yeah, thank you, red flags.
Okay.
I don't know why I said vile.
I don't know. I was like, what are you
I was
trying
thinking
to get
Ursula from like The Little Mermaid.
Oh.
Poor unfortunate soul.
Oh, God.
Anyways, it takes years,
emotional
to figure out those things. You know what I mean? It's going to experience, unless you listen to your old man, if your old man's around and he can help you identify those, characteristics.
So the funny thing is, we're having an open conversation about the responsibilities of mate selection on a man.
I wonder what women's conversation it sounded like.
I don't think there is any.
You don't think they have conversations?
No, and I think I know why. I think I have proof as to why they don't have these conversations.
You have proof.
I think I have proof. Think about it like this. It used to be back in the day that arranged marriages were kind of a thing, or that when you were mate selection, the man would have to go to the father in order to get permission to marry the daughter, right?
Yeah.
Our day and age no longer has that happening.
No.
Whereas
We have Tinder.
if a father wants to interfere because the mate that the woman is selecting is bad, they are trying to be controlling, right?
Controlling, chauvinistic.
Yeah.
You don't understand. He's such a good guy. He's got 3 felonies.
Exactly. So that's what I'm trying to get at is there is no male responsibility I'm sorry. There's no male role model that can help vet the potential mate for the daughter.
Well, that's because all the homes are broken.
The homes are broken, right? So with that being said, is if like I was trying to have this conversation with my daughter got upset. I said, I want to meet, like she was talking about when she wants to start dating. And I said, when you're 33, right? So we negotiated. We
talked it down.
We talked it down to 16 or 17 or 18 is when she.
I like how you guys negotiated.
Well, I started at a stupidly unreasonable number, right? I know. Just because I don't want her dating. She needs to focus on school, right? Doing that. Don't focus on dating because you're not going to find a good man.
There's more important things to worry about at that age, honestly. But your hormones are going. We get it. Yeah. We're not dumb.
I don't want really her focusing on trying to find a mate until she's about 20-ish.
No, but at that age for a woman, I think it's good to be able to identify, as we said, with men identifying red flags in women. Mm-hmm. Like at that age, if you're a girl, instead of throwing yourself in a bed or in the back of a car or whatever the fuck, I think you should be focusing on the same thing, identifying the red flags in males, because not all dudes out there are good, like you said, mate selections. And then by the time you're in your 20s or whatever, maybe you have a better idea.
Flawless victory. Excellent.
I just gave you a flawless
victory. I figured that's what you hit.
Yeah. Had to. You're spot on that one. But nonetheless, I think that's the proof why I say that women don't have this accountability. Right? Women want all the same rights that men have, which they actually have all the same rights that men have in this day and age. Yeah. However, the problem that we see in this day in our society, in this day and age, is they have all the rights but zero accountability or zero responsibility for them. Yeah. That's where a lot of our things our issues are stemming from. Is these women are sexually liberated. They can go and have sex with whoever they want, and they're using abortion as birth control.
And that's not okay, man.
And that's not okay, right? Because one, now you're negating the other parent in that situation. Two is, if the other parent doesn't want the child and you do want the child, then you're forcing them into a situation.
Paycheck.
Right? So we've become in this world that's just sexually liberated, where sex is just run of the mill. I mean, you can go.
It runs rampant.
I mean, Tinder is the hookup app, right?
Okay. There's several other ones out there. I'm sure.
There's several other ones, but Tinder's kind of the big one. It's just basically known as the hookup app now. Oh, I want to get laid. Oh, hey, I'm at. Yeah, I'm gonna go get laid.
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
But you gotta have a bank too, man. Like bitches ain't dumb.
So it's just very telling that we can't hold the woman accountable for, if you want to have this child, where's the accountability for you doing the mate selection and getting impregnated, right? Because it takes two to tango. It takes two to make a child.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So we need to do something different, I think.
Okay, so what would you suggest? Socrates?
I'm not Socrates, definitely. I'm not that smart.
I know, those are just first names that come to mind.
Well, so I think religion kind of had it right? I think
Wait, did I just hear you right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, you did hear me
right. Just making sure. Hey.
Well, so think about it like this, right? So religion back in the day was a guideline for morality and how to live a life that could be long and prosperous, right? And some of those tenets actually should be applied today. But as the West has continued to de-religionize, I don't know how to say that.
Liberate, man. Liberate.
But they're basically becoming anti-religion.
Well, yeah.
We've had all these societal issues come up.
Mm-hmm.
So in a lot of ways, I think religion had it right? Save yourself until marriage, because that forces you to spend a lot of time on mate selection. Holding the sacrament, I think that would be the right word, of the marriage, the sanctity of the marriage.
There you go.
Holy, and keeping that in place makes sense.
Yeah.
Because you don't. when you come together and you produce a child, you have effectively become one. You are both responsible for the well-being of the children, right? In our society in this day and age, where we have sexual liberation and then we have no-fault divorces, we are basically saying your happiness is the ultimate goal, and that's just not true. Yeah, your ultimate goal in life is to produce the next generation.
Yeah.
And raise them to be morally correct.
Well, now all these women that are using, abortion as birth control, man, think of all the kids that they'll never grow now.
Yeah. I do like Elon Musk's take on children.
What's his take on it?
He wants more, right?
More kids?
Yeah, he wants more.
How many does he have?
I think he has 11. What I'm saying is he's a what's that?
7.
7. No, it's more than 7.
Our producer's saying that he only has 7. He's going to go look it up.
He's going to fact check that for us, so he'll get back to us. But
I love him.
But what he's saying is children are a wonderful thing. Children are our future.
They are.
A lot of our problems
probably need to teach them better.
The more children we have, the more people we have, the better chances we have at solving some of our problems.
Yeah.
Right? What happened, there was an interesting thought experiment that was put in place, and I can't remember exactly how it goes, but it was actually talking about how abortion, if it would have been... so let me back up, right? We are no longer a pro-choice or anti-abortion, right? We are either pro-abortion, shout your abortions, 11 children. I was right. Bam! Look at that. Thank you, sir. Thanks for fact checking.
Private fact checker. More like Google checker.
I'm just like, I usually know what I'm talking about, and I was pretty sure on that one, like 99.99999%. Like it's close to 100.
Sound like some hand sanitizer. No. Anyways.
Well, you can never be 100% certain on anything, right? Like, there's always a chance that I misremembered it, but I was certain.
Okay.
But what I'm getting at is we're no longer pro-choice or pro-life, right?
Yeah.
We are either pro-life or pro-abortion. There is no pro-choice. That middle ground has been stomped out.
Well, but the whole thing is pro-choice is the abortion side.
No. Pro-choice is not the abortion side.
That's what. So whenever I see something online or anything like that, pro-choice is always the women that are killing.
No. That used to be what it is. It's no longer pro-choice. It's pro-abortion or pro-life.
That's so stupid.
The middle ground, which was the pro-choice, which is where I would classify myself as, because there are certain things that I think that to have a functioning society, you can't go outright and ban abortion or ban abortions.
Well, there are those instances of like incest.
Well, yeah, right. So incest, rape, or like to me, within the first 8 weeks, right, or maybe 9 weeks or 10 weeks. Right, there's an argument to be made. I don't think it's morally correct. I would never encourage.
Do that yourself?
Well, I can't do it myself.
Well, you know what I mean. Like encourage
my woman to do it, right?
Yeah.
I would prefer that child be born.
Yeah.
Right. But that doesn't mean that choice is for everyone, and I recognize that.
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
But that middle ground has been stomped out. There are still people that hold those values, but they don't matter anymore because it's either abortion up into past birth.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy.
Or no abortion, right?
I saw that not that long ago, actually.
And so it's just like everything else in our society. It is to the extremes now. They're the middle America, the people that want just to kind of coexist with everyone, they no longer can function because the extremes are what's kind of running everything.
And that's the way it's going to continue unless we change it.
Yeah. But the funny thing is I've watched videos where they're going to like these people who are at like these pro-choice rallies, or I should say pro-abortion rallies.
Yeah.
And they're talking about like, okay, if there were limitations on getting an abortion, what would they be? And the funny thing is the people that are in the pro-life camp, they typically have like a range of like 10 to 14 weeks in cases of rape and incest. The people, if they said, well, yeah, I think there could be limitations, and if they were, it was like 6 to 8 weeks. They were actually more pro-life stance than the pro-life people were.
That's crazy how that's
They sit there
flipped.
and fight for killing babies up to and partial birth abortions.
That's insane. I would like to see the study on that.
It's not a study. It was
Or
actually people going around and filming it and asking these questions.
That's what I'm saying. I'd like to see
you should
that
check
video.
it out. They were on YouTube.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts. Huh. I thought it was strange.
There's more of those things that you guys kind of have in common, but you're so busy arguing about shit.
Exactly. And I think that's why I'm bringing up the point here on this. The second point that I'm trying to bring up on this is the simple fact that there's a thought experiment done where if this pro-abortion mindset was actually put back through history, what wouldn't we have in modern society? Because the people that invented it, or the people that discovered it, or the people that worked on it were dead. They weren't there.
That's a crazy fucking thought process right there, buddy. Yep. I think you're onto something. But that's all right because we have time machines. So I'm kidding.
I'm like, what? Like, go. Let's go. So my where I'm going with this
might have
is
time machines.
If a woman has a right without the response of what's the thumbs up for?
I'm sitting here talking shit. Go.
If the woman is if the woman has the right to determine whether or not the child is born or not born with zero input from the father, why does the father not have the right to determine whether or not he wants responsibility for that child?
No, I 100% agree with you.
And that's going to cause a lot of
emotional damage
for the woman, right? Because women sit there and say, well, no, it's his responsibility. I had the child.
Yeah.
He has to take care
of me.
But my thought is you should do the same thing that men do and have accountability for who you sleep with.
Oh, yeah.
Right? It's not our fault as a society or as judicial or whatever that you slept with a bum that isn't going to take care of this.
Yeah, an NPC.
That was your poor choices in mate selection.
Yep.
Right? Just like I'm saying, if you stick your dick in crazy and you get a crazy chick pregnant, it's your
fault.
It's your fault.
Yeah.
You did it. You deal with the ramifications of it.
I agree with that.
So,
I mean, if you think about it logically, that makes the most sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm sure hopefully we get somebody to argue because I want to see that fucking argument.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
That's not saying that I don't think women have the right to choose. Because like I said, I am a little bit more pro-choice than I am
I get what you're saying, which is fine. You're entitled to your opinion, but that's the whole point of having, the whole point of having these conversations is the fact that you can have your opinion on a situation and I can have my own. You know what I mean? Everybody is entitled to their own opinion in this country. At least it's supposed to be that way.
It's supposed to be.
So
it's not really like that.
No.
Where I was going with that is I'm not trying to say a woman doesn't have a choice whether or not she needs to get abortion.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit more pro-choice than a lot of people that are pro-life.
That's fine.
What I am saying, though, is if we're going to have a equality in our society, then if you have the right to determine whether or not you're killing my child, I have the right to determine whether or not I even want responsibility for that child. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I get. I agree.
That's the equality.
The
funny thing is I actually don't agree with that statement.
Okay.
Right, because in my mind, if you have a child, it doesn't matter if you want it or not, you are responsible for it.
And I get that too. You're conflicted. I'm the same freaking way. Because I have kids that I'm not allowed to see that if they were here, dude, I would, you know what I mean? I would definitely be there for.
Yep. 100%. Right? I think that's how men are built. Our offspring are our responsibility.
Yeah.
I'm using this. I'm putting forth this argument because in a equality state, that would be the equality state.
Yeah.
But we're not there, right? I don't actually think that's the best case scenario. I think the best case scenario is the man take responsibility.
Yeah. Well, because the child will grow up better.
I think the best state we can get into is we need accountability on men and women to do proper mate selection and stay together. If you produce a child,
that's what I was just about to say.
It's fine.
Well, and then if you are going to get divorced or separate, there needs to be a grounds for it, like they used to have.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree with you, dude.
Did you know Idaho is an at-fault state?
What do you mean?
So Idaho is one of the few states left that has an at-fault and a no-fault.
Elaborate.
So most states in the country in it now are no-fault divorces. Every single state has a no-fault divorce.
Okay.
There are some states left that have at-faults.
Oh.
Idaho is one of them.
So what does that mean for the people getting the divorce?
Okay, so if a no-fault divorce means you can get divorced for any reason. There's no fault that anyone did. We're just unhappy.
You have to have a reason to get divorced in Idaho?
An at-fault. No. Because Idaho has both. You can do a no-fault divorce or you can do an at-fault divorce.
No wonder they allowed me to get divorced.
Now, so an at-fault divorce typically means like you caught someone cheating. There's been infidelity.
Bitch had another kid.
There's been abuse in the relationship. Things like that. Right? There's a cause for the divorce. The nice thing about an at-fault divorce is there's protections for the person filing, saying, hey, I caught them cheating. I'm going to go ahead and get a divorce. And that actually limits the amount of like alimony that would have to be paid. Or that also actually affects a little bit on the custodial stuff. Yeah. Not much, just because custodial is slightly different, but you can kind of enter it into it.
I don't know. I got married here, but I got divorced in Colorado, and they granted me 100% custody and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
So, I mean, it's interesting. I think at-fault divorces need to go back. Did you actually hear there's a state that actually did a modified marriage, right? I can't remember what it's actually called, but
modified marriage.
But basically, what it does is it enshrines what marriage actually is supposed to be.
Oh,
meaning that you cannot get divorced, right?
I dig that kind of.
So I can't remember exactly what it was, and I don't remember what state it is. I remember reading about it, and I thought it was interesting. I'm just like, so hold on.
Sounds good so far.
That's marriage, right? Because the progressives have destroyed the institution of marriage, right?
Yeah.
So their response was, well, we're going to do a next level marriage where it basically makes marriage back to what marriage was supposed to be.
He said next level. That's the next level marriage.
So, it's interesting things. It is what it is.
And that is brought to you by Discussing Dadline.
Yeah, drop some comments. I'd love to hear the argument as to why the equity state doesn't apply. That if you have the choice to terminate or not terminate, why does the man not have a choice to take responsibility or not take responsibility? I'd love to hear the argument as to why that happens. I don't disagree with it because ultimately,
but it's nice to have a conversation, another point of view on it.
Yeah, because I'm not going to reiterate again.
He's not going to kick that dead horse. You guys have a good one.
Peace.
Go.
For watching, please give us a like, share, and subscribe. Till then, peace.